the magic of the movies, right? The
Mhm.
majestic being the title. It's just about returning to that magic, right? When they go to the theater in the very beginning, I'm like nostalgic about that time, and I wasn't alive, right? Like at the time where you would kind of put on a suit and like going to the movies was just this huge event. So yeah, it was like, you know, Martin Landau's character talks about like there was, Chaplin and Jimmy Cagney and Jimmy Stewart and like they were gods and this was Mount Olympus, So it
Right.
was really just this kind of revered moment of movies. And then now unfortunately, with streaming and with, all this noise out there, it's so easy to kind of put something on. You're on your phone half the time. There's just no reverence to the story anymore.
Right.
And so, yeah. So the irony of that was that this movie kind of got swept under the rug as part of that
Right.
transition in history.
Yeah, that is interesting. I did like that, they talked about walking in and it being like you're walking into heaven, and then it has, like, the golden pillars and all the,
Right, right.
rich, heavy curtains and all this,
Mhm.
and velvet and all that. Um, I guess, kinda on that theme with, like, the theater kinda died in that town, and
Yeah.
then, the American building it back up again and all that. They talked about, like, there's nothing more capitalist a man could do than than build up a business like that, but,
Right.
that notion of, like, the fading theater, like, just recently, like, Timothée Chalamet got into some hot water talking about him being worried about theaters dying, like,
Right.
which I think, in the context of what he was saying, I don't think what he said was outrageous, but again, for an actor to say that he thinks that, ballet and opera are things that we keep alive, just like they're arts that wanna die and we just have them on life support, essentially is what he's implying, but
Yeah.
I think his point is just like movies, like theater movies, that whole
Yeah.
experience is kind of slowly becoming emaciated, uh, over time. Like, people don't go to the movies like they used to when we were in high school,
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, comparing it to the ballet or opera, I think was a little moronic on his side because it's like
Right, fair.
the irony of it is that like he is probably a part of one of the only franchises right now that's getting people excited to go to movies.
Yeah.
Right, being the Dune series. Like, there's not a lot of franchises out there, that are doing something like that. They're like, "I've got to go see this in IMAX. It's worth paying $30, to experience this in IMAX."
Right.
So just the irony of him saying that and making tens of millions of dollars off it at the same time annoys me.
I can't help but like the guy, though. I really like him. I don't wanna like him, but I can't help it.
I'm not sure I'm there yet, to be honest. I'm not sure I'm there yet.
You'll get there. He'll win you
Yeah,
over.
I'm not sure I will. Like, I saw something the other day online, and it was like it was showing, Robert Pattinson's career, and
Yeah.
it was like Robert Pattinson is what Timothée Chalamet thinks he is. And so I think Robert Pattinson is actually a fantastic actor, and
Mm.
Timothée Chalamet just is maybe given better roles. Um, but I don't know, maybe I'll be won over. I haven't seen Marty Supreme yet. Maybe that'll be something that wins me over. I do love the Safdie brothers, or I think Josh Safdie. So I haven't checked that out. I will. But yeah, I mean, part of it is it shouldn't just be Dune. There should be a place for new original stories. Ironically, as I talk about Marty Supreme, here's a new original story that I haven't gone
Right.
and seen. So I'm not I'm being a little hypocritical here. Um,
Being part of the problem, John.
That's right. It's right. I'm a part of the problem as I just freaking binge watch Landman season 2 on my phone. And so, but yeah, I mean, they're dumbing down movies. I read something the other day that said like the streaming services are telling movies that part of the dialogue and shows are so bad is because they need to be able to write them so that people can be on their phones while it's on and still track what's going on in the story. That's where like, and now we must go to the train station so that we can go on the train to college, where we go to college at this university. Like that's so they're expelling
And
everything
the train is the way that we get there.
out. That's why we're on this train right now. It's a train.
It's going to our college. Yeah.
Correct.
That's
So,
sad, man.
yeah, yeah.
And
And
they
so,
actually,
yeah,
they even pointed out in the movie, like, why would you watch something at home when you could go experience it in the theater? Like,
Right.
In the Majestic, they make that
Yeah,
point.
literally, but and then it was the, "Why would you watch something in a box?"
Right.
But no, really, Martin Lando's speech there is kind of what activates that in me. That's why I love this movie, is
Mhm.
I feel the same. Like, I feel like I desire, and I think I got a tiny bit of it, I love the '90s. I think the '90s was probably the best decade in cinema. And there was that moment, right? And maybe it's just because I was a kid, but there was the magic of going to the movies and seeing, for them, it was like Jimmy Cagney and Jimmy Stewart. And for us, it's like Cruise and Hanks and, like just
Mhm.
dinosaurs and
Schwarzenegger.
Terminators. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was our version of that. But there was something really magical about it. And that's the point of the movie list a little bit. It's just find that magic.
While we're
So,
kind of talking about the theater piece of the Majestic, one of the parts that I really enjoyed about it was him going through, like, the concessions and he's like, "Hey, we need to order more jujubes, and we need to get
yeah.
more," like, which just like, we haven't really talked about this yet, but
Right.
what is your go-to movie theater order?
Oh, I've got a good one. I got a real good one.
Let's have it.
So, I get bunch of crunch, right? A box of
Oh,
bunch of crunch, pour it in the popcorn, mix it up.
ah, what are you doing to me?
I know. I'm actually upset that I don't have that in front of me right now. But yeah, that if I go to the movie theater, I'm gonna get bunch of crunch and I'm gonna end up paying like $100 because after the tickets and the bunch of crunch and the popcorn,
Yeah,
I want to pay it because I believe in movie theaters. I want to support them, but dang, it's getting tough. Things are in this economy. Good
right.
gracious, it's expensive to go to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what Chalamet was saying, right? Maybe it's like unfortunately it's turning into like an elite thing, right? It used to
Mm.
be like the Majestic. It was a community thing where everybody would come together. And now it's like, dude, you can freaking like it's so expensive
For
to
a
go to the
second
movies.
mortgage on
So
your
it's
house
like
to go
exactly. Like why would
to
you not stay
family,
home and watch the same movie like 2 weeks later?
Right.
So with everything going on with, the Netflix acquisition and uh, Harry Potter getting dumbed down to like a show, and like I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Right.
But I believe movies like this are in what they are and also like what they're saying, and that is there is a place for a B movie, not from the sense of like it's just a crappy low budget movie, even though that's been my career. I'm not ashamed to say for the most part. We try our best, right? But we're working off limited budgets.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, for an extent of like, let's have our. There's nothing wrong with your Marvels and your big tent poles, but let's offset that, with some original stories and taking risks and good characters and then have that
Yeah,
offset.
which does bring me to, my movie order, thank you for asking.
Mm,
It's gonna be, I got a cherry Coke, I got a
okay.
popcorn with n I don't do the extra butter, I find it too messy,
Yep.
and the popcorn gets soggy over time, like, you really gotta
Yep.
hork it down to make that
Right.
crunch still be there. And then Mike and Ike's.
I love Mike and Ike's.
Yeah, man, that's
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 solid.
a that's a
Yeah.
you want a little something fruity, a little something salty?
Yeah. I like
That's
doing them
that's
one
my
at a
go-to.
time and just, like, crushing them, like, in those, like, hydraulic crushers. My
Mhm.
teeth do
You
just
you put them up
trying to
tall
flatten
ways?
yeah, I put them
Yeah.
tall and just
Oh, man.
there's there's no, like, no new human experiences. We're all the same.
When I was doing, back in the Blockbuster era,
Yeah.
we would always get snow caps and, hot tamales when I was a
Nice.
kid. Those was kind of our
Yeah.
or Red
Hot tamales is
Hots.
basically just spicy Mike and
Mike and
Ike's.
Ike's, yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you ever do Red Hots?
Yeah, I like Red Hots.
Yeah.
I like pretty
I
much
haven't had a
anything.
Red Hot
I
in, like,
don't
20
love
years.
Butterfingers. I don't love Butterfingers.
Yeah,
But yeah.
unless it's an
Hey,
ice cream. A Butterfinger and ice cream.
maybe our next live or bonus features we'll rank movie theater.
Ooh,
We'll tier rank movie theater
I like that.
candies. Speaking of which, guys, if you want to feel elite over your friends, we got some new merch here, right? So the whole point of the movie list is just I can't believe you haven't seen that movie, right? And you guys, if you're watching this, you're probably huge movie fans, and you want to feel elite to your friends. So grab one of these bad boys. So
Nice!
you can actually say to them via merchandise, I can't believe you haven't seen that. It's I'm not going to list what references are on here legally. I'm not sure. I got to consult with my counsel first. But you know what these are. You know these references, and hopefully we don't get taken down or sued by the studio
Right.
system.
Generic movie with DeLorean. Generic
Exactly.
movie with sparkly red shoes.
Ruby shoes,
If
ruby
we're even talking about
slip-ons. Right,
movies,
right,
could be
exactly. They're
anything.
books. They're based on the books.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the beginning of the Majestic, they roll in. Again, we're talking about the grandiose. Nothing is more like that temple of movies than, Grauman's Chinese theater in Hollywood. Which if you haven't gone, do yourself a favor, don't do it because it'll ruin the image you have in your head. Because that's what I thought, like, me being, naive, thinking it's gonna be like everyone's gonna be in suits, and instead it was just mostly homeless people, like, laying out front, and it
Not that there's
smells
anything
like
wrong with that, of
ammonia.
course.
No, just not where I wanna not the experience I thought I was walking into. They were in suits, though, so that was nice. Nice of them.
Oh, well, maybe they just
Um
got sleepy.